Fantastic. Welcome, everybody. Great to see all of you here. Thank you so much for joining our session today on mastering pricing, specifically using Ignition's latest Price Insights feature. Really excited to be with you today. Thank you for taking the time out of your week to join us. Conscious that it is a busy time of year and we've got school holidays and different things happening across the country at the moment. So I appreciate that you've taken the time to join this session today. This will be a relatively quick and short and sharp sort of webinar today, and really we're looking to run for about 25 to 30 minutes tops. And there are a couple of topics that I'm keen to share with you, and then specifically go into detail around how you can utilize some of the features within Ignition to give you confidence around pricing your services. So this is the main focus of the topic today. Just to make sure that you can, in fact, hear and see me coming through, if you could do me a favor and just jump in the chat box there on the right and let me know where you're listening in from today and that you can see the slide and see my face and hear my voice coming through as well. That would be much appreciated. While you're doing that, I'm just going to explain that we do record all of these sessions, so hello to anyone who is joining us on demand today. And of course, the live chat. Thank you, Leighton, Charmin, and Anne for jumping in there. The live chat and the Q&A are live. So if you do have any questions for me, I'll do my absolute best to answer them. And please do keep engaged, and would love this to be as much of a two-way conversation as we can. Really pleased to be hosting this session today from Ignition. And for those who aren't familiar with what we do, Ignition is a platform that helps to transform your sales and billing and payments processes. So we work with over 8,500 firms now. I've been in operation for about 12 years, and originally was built from within a CA practice down in Sydney. So I'd love to know if you can see the poll on the right-hand side of your screen there, just what you know about Ignition, if you've considered it in the past, if you know a little bit but you're here to learn more, if it's your first time hearing about it, or if you're already using Ignition in your practice. So I'll give you just a minute to respond on that poll, which is on screen now, while I have a sip of my my morning coffee. Still 10 a.m. here in Brisbane, so I figured I could get my my second coffee for the day. And it looks like the vast majority of you are using Ignition in your practice, which is great. And there's quite a few that it's also your first time hearing about it, which is really good as well. So if you are already using Ignition in your firm, you know, if you could share in the chat box the experience you've had with those folks who are considering it and not yet using it, that would be much appreciated. My name's Ethan, just by way of introduction. I've been working in this space for over 10 years now. After qualifying as an accountant myself, I focus on helping firms implement and adopt technology that helps them run more efficiently and more profitably, and been working with Ignition here now for coming up on 7 years as well. So excited to be sharing with you today. I did just want to share, as we get started, some survey results, which some of you might have seen, based on the pricing benchmark survey that we ran across 160 firms this year. And this is just a breakdown of the firm's turnover and also where they're based as to those who have responded to this survey. And I just wanted to start with this context to then build on it and talk about the new Price Insights feature that Ignition has just launched. But you can see there the vast majority of the firms that are in this survey are turning over sort of around 350K to $1 million, that sort of middle section there. And then you can see a huge percentage were actually represented from regional centres outside the CBD areas, which I thought was really interesting as well. So some of the key findings from this report, and there's a poll on screen again, which I'd appreciate if you could take the time to respond to, and I'll share the results with everyone. 80% of those 160 firms that we surveyed planned to increase their fees this year across all services. Almost half were planning to raise their fees by at least 5%, and then 20% by at least 10%. Only 6% of the firms that we surveyed had no plans to raise fees whatsoever. So, and of course, rising business costs was the main reason why folks were looking at doing this. And the poll results do reflect that accurately. There's almost 70% of you who have raised your fees in the last 12 months. Roughly 10% who raised your fees more than 12 months ago, and then about 20% who are either planning to increase their fees soon or they're staying as they are. So hopefully that's interesting insight as to where you sit in the pack there. But I thought it would be good to share these results with you. Talk a little bit about why it's important to manage cash flow. And I feel like I'm preaching to the choir a little bit here because you are advisors advising your clients on the exact same thing. But we did find when we completed this other survey that we ran across over 1,000 firms in Australia that many firms were regularly absorbing increased time and cost when there was ad hoc work or out of scope work that appeared over the course of the year. And you can see 35% of those firms or either we address it with clients but then just absorb the increased time and cost themselves, or we don't address it with the clients and just absorb the increased time and cost themselves as well. The good news is over 60% were addressing it with clients immediately, confirming it in writing with a new and revised engagement letter. But it was surprising to me that many firms were regularly just taking the hit. And I'm sure you'd resonate with that, where clients are asking us to do a little bit more. Hey, can you adjust this? Hey, what about this? Oh, I forgot about this transaction, extra parcel of shares that I sold, whatever it might be, and expect that the fee remains the same. In fact, what it was costing those firms was the majority of those firms, over 60%, was more than $5,000 a year in terms of that ad hoc or out of scope work that they were completing but not necessarily billing properly for. So this is a challenge that professional services broadly are facing, but acutely accountants and bookkeepers seem to really want to do everything to help their clients, which is fantastic. You will go above and beyond to support your clients, but what we find is that's often at the expense of margin, and it's at the expense of sanity in some cases. And what we're doing here with this latest feature is to hopefully give you more confidence around the price that you know you should be charging to your clients using this Insights feature within Ignition. So again, just a couple of final stats here to round this out. Across the firms that we surveyed there, over half said that their clients were regularly not being billed for out-of-scope work, over half regularly commencing client work without a signed letter of engagement. A large chunk of them were still chasing clients for late payments on invoices as well. And surprisingly, quite a number actually had clients refusing to pay for out-of-scope work as well, which is a little bit worrying. And I'm not sure where you all sit or whether these have occurred within your practice, but I'm going to show you some strategies here today that will hopefully help you overcome that and mitigate the risk of that going forward. The total number, I guess, of out-of-scope work that was lost on average across any given year for the average firm here was over 100K, which again is quite a stark number. Before I dive into the product here and actually show you what it looks like, I just wanted to share some results from Morrow's. This is a firm that we actually very generously sent us these results after an internal analysis they did. They're based down in Melbourne, multi-service firm, quite a significant, quite a large practice as well. And you can see down the bottom row there that they implemented Ignition back in 21, and over time it took them quite a while to roll that out across to their client base. It sort of sat stagnant there for quite a while, but over 4 financial years they managed to increase adoption from Ignition to 83% of their client base, and that's even higher this year, which is good to see. I just wanted to draw your attention to a few of these key metrics around productivity, work in progress days, aged receivables, and also lockup, and just the impact that we've seen there over those 4 years by putting in place a more robust process around engagements, around billing clients when you need to, and around putting clients on an upfront sort of payment arrangement where they're agreeing to the fee schedule up front, not waiting and accruing time against a quarterly or an annual invoice, which then we hope the client would be happy to pay. And so I just wanted to share these numbers with you to give you some confidence and some validation that this works, and I guess put some backing to what I'm going to talk about today. Just a couple of points I also wanted to make from a compliance point of view, particularly as we've got the TASA changes that have come into effect this year, and even some of the new KYC requirements that are coming into effect in the middle of next year. CA has yet again flagged that compliance around engagement, APS 305, for those who love their accounting standards, is an area of concern for them. So many firms in their quality review findings are not compliant with APS 305. There's no evidence around an up-to-date engagement letter that's been signed by a client, or it doesn't exist entirely. Where Ignition fits in here is we really do help you support I guess, your ongoing quality management and compliance by helping you to tick this compliance box very easily. So auto-generating your engagement letters, managing your acceptance and continuance workflows, helping you to really get clear on disclosure as well up front with your clients, helping you to track that re-engagement cadence annually and cut down on the admin time involved in doing that, and then reducing the risk of missing key steps at QMS for your client onboarding as well. So we're really focused on embedding this in your day-to-day workflows as well. Okay, I'm going to show you guys what this new feature looks like, but just to explain where this fits into the scheme of things with the Ignition platform, because I do know that there is quite a few of you on the call today who have not seen Ignition at all. So this is the scope of what we have built. This is the solution that we're providing. So helping you to optimize your fee and your revenue across your client lifecycle, from capturing and qualifying leads through to managing your sales pipeline and sending proposals and terms of engagement and contracts, helping you to collect information through the use of forms, and then a lot of back-end automation here around invoicing, billing and payment collection, billing for out-of-scope work, and then also renewals every year as well. So just wanted to give you that nice little visual there to explain how Ignition works and I guess what the platform can offer. Okay, a couple of little slides here before we get into the demo. I wanted to introduce our latest feature, and for many of you who are existing customers of Ignition, this is likely what you're here for today, which is called Price Insights. Now, this is a fantastic feature which we've been working really hard on for a long time. It's available to customers in Australia and the US currently, and you do get 3 price insights for free if you are currently using Ignition as well, or if you're yet to use it, you can jump into a trial account, and that enables you to test this feature. So what this feature is tailored pricing suggestions for your services built on real proposal data that's sitting behind Ignition. So this is real pricing information where clients have accepted proposals, and this is feeding back into the engine, into the data engine behind it, and giving you an accurate AI-powered price insight for that particular service and some reasoning as to why you've gotten there. So I'm going to show you what that looks like now and explain how this fits into your Ignition proposal. So what you're seeing on screen is a list of all my proposals in Ignition. I have got a list of all here. You can see this middle tag, whether they've been accepted or awaiting acceptance, or they've been completed already, etc. So I've got a whole host of proposals there. What I'm going to do is find the proposal that is in draft, and here is where I can have I guess a list of proposals that I need to review, or that are marked for review by the partners or directors in the firm, whatever that approval process looks like for you. But I've got 3 proposals here that are currently in draft. I've got 4 that are awaiting acceptance, and I've got 14 here that have been accepted. So reasonably small firm here. I'm doing 130K in fees at the moment, but I want to go, and I'm growing the practice, and I want to validate what I'm planning on charging this client before I send them the proposal. So of course I could just click review and send, but I'm going to go and actually jump into the building of this proposal and then show you how the actual Price Insights feature plays in here. So I've got my my monthly compliance proposal here. What this was built from was one of the templates that Ignition provides. So we actually provide this straight out of the box. We've got a whole host of them. You can see on the left here. And surprises me how many customers don't actually leverage these. So, whenever you're creating an Ignition proposal, make sure you come and check this library and just see what's available. We've got SMSF compliance, things like STP finalizations, TPAR, sole trader compliance, tax planning, trust compliance, FBT, individual return templates. There's a whole host of them in there that you can leverage and utilize. So that's what I've created here. I've then selected my client, which was synced across automatically from my ledger, from Xero in this case. And you can see here, if I scroll down, here are all my clients from Xero that have been brought in automatically for me. I can set an auto expiry on this proposal. So if I want to give some time pressure to this client for signing, I can actually let them know that that expires in 7 days after sending, which might be a good way to drive some urgency. And I can also then add additional signatories on this proposal if I've got mum and dad or multiple directors or whoever needs to sign off on that agreement. This is a pretty standard 12-month agreement, but I could do any custom length that I need to. If it's just project work, it could be much shorter than that. Okay, in the services tab here is where I have all of these services that have been pulled into the Ignition proposal. So you can see here I've got my annual compliance. I've got a recurring billing item here for any ad hoc work, which is charged out at $185 an hour, pretty healthy rate, I think. Some once-off services here that are billed manually. In fact, those were covered in the monthly services, so I'm going to move that one. You can see how easy it is to chop and change. I've got my quarterly BAS here, which I'm charging as well. And then I've got some monthly compliance, some smaller items there, in addition to my recurring software subscription here, which I'm recovering on behalf of Xero for my clients as well. Now, I've also got an advisory service here that I wanted to introduce to my client. And rather than charge this on an hourly basis, I'm wanting to do a price range. And that is actually billed monthly. And so I'm wanting to offer this as a potential value add for my client and make it an optional service. So this will mean that my client has to actually tick that they want this advisory work to occur monthly. It could be quarterly, it could be annually, giving my client the ability to basically opt in for that. And I might actually present a bit of a discount on the first month as well, because it's a new service for them. So total value, it's looking at around $6,300 for the year for this client. So everything's looking good. I'm not going to present multiple options or add-on or tiers for them. I'm just presenting a single quote. Ignition's given me all the verbiage that I need in terms of pulling together the description of those services. Of course, I can go and update those descriptions if I want to. You can see all of those deliverables are included there. So what I'm now going to do is actually run a price insight based on what I'm showing you today. So what I might do here, just for ease here, is actually do a fixed fee. It's going to be a once-off service here, where I might do $1,650 for the annual financials and return, and I'm going to run a price insight on that just to see what that would look like. So I'm then able to add some additional context, and what this does is it allows you to feed in additional variables and context into the engine here that is really useful. So I'm just going to give you an example. It could be I've positioned my services as premium, servicing a niche client base who turn over 1 million plus, and I want to price on the higher end of the market and deliver a premium service, something like that. It could also be, I'm based in a regional town and there's price or fee pressure. It could be I offer a one-to-many approach at a lower margin with higher volume. Any sort of context you can provide to the model here will help you gain a better price insight. And you can see Ignition's going to go away and analyze the service and the business details there. It's going to take a little while to pull through this insight for me, but very soon you'll see what it does is present a range and an estimate, so the lower and a higher and a middle range for that service. It will provide deliverables based on the similar service scope that's been offered and accepted before. And then it will provide some complex or context and reasoning sitting behind that price insight as well, just so you've got the ability to kind of justify and explain and see where that information is coming from. So you can see here that in this case, I'm actually very much on the lower end of what Ignition would recommend for this particular service. And, you can do things like adding client turnover, size of their business, complexity, so number of bank accounts, et cetera, et cetera. The more information that you give it, the better. But this analysis is based off 21 directly comparable once-off financial reports and tax return services from firms. So a middle price here, or the price that's been suggested through the price insight, is $3,000 for the year, basically twice what I was going to charge this client. So you can see some of the reasoning here was around market alignment, around the premium positioning support, around the service scope justification, the geographic considerations as well, and also some alternate billing insights there as well. So you can see here just how cool this is in terms of just giving you some more context and confidence over what you could and should be charging. So what I can do is either use that suggested price, or I can set my own price. So rather than perhaps go to exactly what the Price Insight was suggesting, I might just bring this up to to meet in the middle, where it's sort of between the recommended price and what I was originally going to charge. So bumping this value of this agreement up to just under $9,000 for the year, for a pretty comprehensive scope of work. So you can see that's now telling me I am charging on the low range, but it does give me a little bit more confidence in overlaying that for my pricing as well. And then I can go ahead and update that in my library. I could copy that across to other agreements and so on. So I'd love to hear your feedback in the chat. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you think this would be useful. If you recall, for those who might remember the good, bad and ugly business fitness reports and the KPI benchmarks there, all Rob Knights and co, the service benchmark pricing, those are fantastic, but what we're trying to do is actually use real data to give you some real, meaty analytics on what you should be charging, and again, give you confidence on what that could look like for your firm. All right, just as I progress through here, I know many of you have used this before, but just to highlight that you can choose then how your clients are able to pay you in that proposal. You can choose a relevant set of terms and of agreement. So in this instance, I'm using the CPA Australia 2025 engagement letter. I can choose to deploy jobs into Xero Practice Manager automatically, or Carbon, or any workflow tool that is integrated. And then I can choose or finalize the presentation of that proposal as well, and how it will look to my client. And then for those who'd be familiar, this is what the clients would receive: a really beautiful, professional looking proposal that helps you to, put your best foot forward. I mentioned that this is a premium service, so I'm presenting it in such manner. I'm not sending them a dodgy looking Word document or sending it to them via email. It's a professional looking proposal with a video, with branding, colors, consistency as well, a full scope of work over the course of that year. The ability for them to add add-ons, and if you recall, this was the optional service that I added on there that my client could say yes to. That's $400 a quarter, so $100 a month. The pricing and the fee schedule, and so the out-of-scope work there, the monthly billing, and also the quarterly and monthly compliance. The ability for clients to then put in their payment details, so credit card or direct debit information, and then sign the actual engagement letter here as well, which is all compliant, up to date, and automatically formatted for me going forward. So hopefully that's given you a taste of what this pricing insight feature looks like. Please feel free, there's a button on screen. If you'd like to start a trial, there's no credit card or anything required. It takes 2 minutes to set up an account, and you can actually go through and plug in your pricing and run these price insights. Again, you can run up to 3 of them free of charge. And I'd encourage you to consider that, and go in, have a look at our templates, perhaps use a template, then plug in the pricing that you might quote on your average client, and then see how that compares using the price insight as well. So would really encourage you to get into that and have a look at it as well. All right, I just wanted to talk a little bit finally in our remaining 5 minutes around re-engagements. And so these two features, re-engagements and price insights, work really well hand in hand. And when I am looking at the accepted proposals here within the proposals section in Ignition, and perhaps filtering those that are ending soon, perhaps I need another coffee. You can see here that I can select multiple engagements or multiple proposals and start a renewal process or adjust my pricing. So what I can do is go through, apply a base level price increase. So it might just be my CPI that I'm going to do every year as a non-negotiable. So I could see there it's going to be $1,100 increase just by doing that 3.5% CPI increase across those 3 engagements. Click Next. Finalize each of the individual service pricing lines there, click Create Proposals, and Ignition will then create those 3 proposals in draft with that base level CPI increase built in. And you can see it's given me those 3 here ready to go. I would then be able to go into each of those agreements, run the price insight across that service. And if that service is consistent across multiple proposals, I can also reuse that price insight across multiple proposals. And then send those out to my clients ready to sign. So really does make pricing and doing your annual renewals a heck of a lot simpler. Excellent. So great question that's been asked in the chat. I'm just going to explain the pricing now for this service. So you get up to 3 price insights free of charge within your account. And Price Insights is an add-on here, which you can see on our pricing page. In addition to Price Insights, you'll also see Deals, which is a way to manage or streamline your sales process, and also Online Forms, which gives you the ability to customize and collect information from your clients using forms. Forms is included on our Pro plan. Deals is included on our Pro Plus plan, as well as Forms, obviously. And Price Insights is charged at a once-off fee of $3.99 billed annually, and that gives you 200 Price Insights. So this is an introductory price that we're running until the end of this year. 200 Price Insights, it's a great opportunity for you to run this across your entire service library in terms of any repricing projects that you're doing between now and the end of the year, any proposals that you're sending out throughout from here until the end of the year. It's a fantastic way to utilize that feature going forward. So hopefully that's answered the question there. Just to recap, again, for those who are using the platform, you are able to access this within Ignition now. And for those who are yet to use it, please sign up for a trial and you can access this straight away. Create a proposal, click Create New, Create Proposal, or find an existing draft proposal and enter into that proposal and click Edit here. Go into the Services tab where you are adding and removing services and adjusting prices for that particular client, and utilize the Price Insights button here. You can see a tick on the top right to toggle Price Insights on and off. Please feel free to toggle that on and click the Analyze Price button. As I said before, add your additional context and get that insight there as well. Nicole, you don't have to use the 200 Price Insights by the end of this year. It will give you that in a bundle, so you can use that in your own time, of course. Excellent. Thanks, everyone. I really hope that was useful. I'm 2 minutes early, which is good to hear. If you would like a personalized call, if you're an existing customer, feel free to respond to this as well. If you'd like someone from our account management team, your key account manager, to reach out to you, more than happy to connect you with the right person there so that we can support you in using this feature in your account. If you're not yet using Ignition and you'd like a call for us to discuss what this could look like for your practice, if you had specific questions for me, please do, again, respond to the poll that's on screen, and we'd be more than happy to get in touch with you. Or if you'd like us to send you across a free trial link, please hit that button on the poll and we'll be sure to send that across to your email so you can sign up for that free trial in a matter of minutes as well. So while I close things out, I did want to mention that for new customers, we are offering priority onboarding and success plan, as well as an introductory 3-month discount for you, 50% off your first 3 months, as well as some referral bonuses for existing customers as well. And for those of you who are already using Ignition, we actually work with quite a number of professional service businesses, not just accounting and bookkeeping firms. Marketing agencies are a big one for us. And there's currently a $1,000 USD marketing agency referral bonus for you if you have any clients that you'd like to refer to Ignition that might be experiencing the pain points that we solve for. So managing their contracts, managing cash flow, and so on. So just wanted to remind everyone that we do, in fact, work with a large number of businesses, not just firms, and we do reward our customers generously for those referrals as well. Finally, just want to say a big thank you as we hit 11:30 here. Really appreciate everyone's time in joining us today. I know it's a busy time of year, and I wanted to thank all of you and all of our customers as well for continuing to support us and joining in on the session today as well. Sorry, I missed a question from Joy in the chat. 3 free insights. That's not 3 at one time. That is 3 separate uses of the Price Insights feature. It's not a daily limit. It's just 3 uses of that across any number of proposals or any number of engagements. But you can run basically 3 insights on those services for the trial period as well. All right, thanks very much, everyone. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you're listening in from, and hope you enjoyed the session with us today. Thanks again.